The world nowadays faces a various range of problems and challenges, from poverty, famine, domestic violence, lack of water or natural disasters, to discrimination or social exclusion.
I'm A.R.T from Slovenia, and I'm the president of Kuku, Društvo za kreativno udeležbo, and I'm the country coordinator for Slovenia.
And I am Anja from Slovenia, and I'll be doing a forum theater performance in Slovenia.
She's our multiplier.
We come from Bulgaria, and I'm Sashka.
I'm Jana.
We are from Ideas Factory Association, and we are partnering in this project, Act for What You Believe. And in our organization, I'm project coordinator. And
I'm one of the founders of the organization.
My name is Miriam Talisa. I am from Uganda. I work as an executive coordinator for a youth organization, NGO, called Youth Plus Policy Network.
My name is Irene Donald Hans. I'm coming from Tanzania, and the organization within which I'm working with is called Tanzania Youth Culture Organization. In abbreviation, you can call it TAYCO. The project of Act on What You Believe, I'm playing the role as the country coordinator.
My name is Oana Mucea. I'm from Art Fusion and I'm country coordinator from Romania.
250,000 people doing nothing.
young people, not neither in the labor market, nor in university.
The young people in my country constitute a very big proportion of the population. To be exact, it's more than 75%. So that means in my community, in my country, whichever problems there is, it hits the young people most.
Well, for me, one of the biggest problems is discrimination. It's discrimination of different kinds, for example, toward ethnic minorities, which can be Roma, or also we have migrants, asylum seekers, and then also towards LGBTQI community.
Discrimination for me is a very important one. Since recently Bulgaria is on a buffer zone when we are an area where a lot of immigrants from Asia and Africa come to Europe, and we are actually the border of Europe, and it makes it very challenging for Bulgarians that think they're very tolerant, and now they're very challenged to know if they really are.
The first thing is the issue of unemployment to the youth, as in a sense that most of the students, most of the young people, young generation, they are attaining the situation of being unemployed. At the end of the day, they end up in street mongers, street situations which are not too perfect. Some ends up relating into some smugglings, prostitutions, and different illegal activities.
So we have also a lot of alcoholism among underage children, and going hand in hand with that is also vandalism. So we actually already did a forum theater performance on that topic.
To begin with is the issue of unemployment, which is very rampant, which partly or generally is caused by the non-availability of the jobs, and also the education system that is somewhat not practical, so it does not respond to the employment needs of the country. The other is human sacrifice.
Yeah, corruption, I mean, it's just it's a lot.
Like in the university, in school, at
Healthcare.
in police, in many different forms.
And access to healthcare is another big issue for minorities and communities.
Yes, minorities, in general minorities, and the rest of the country living, there is a huge gap in between, and minorities, they're for everything.
Today is going to be in a school context. We're going to be working on themes like bullying, non-violent communication, how to stand up for yourself, assertiveness.
We are apparently still facing the scenario and a problem of gender inequality due to remaining of the taboos and customs, traditions as well, that men or a male gender is more superior than the female.
Human sacrifice and human trafficking, I mean, they are two and very rampant, in the sense that young people in search for jobs end up being trafficked to other countries, and they go with the promise that they'll get jobs, but they end up doing some other funny things that are not really convenient or comfortable.
Discrimination on certain levels, for example, gender discrimination, ethnic or sexual orientation discrimination, bullying in schools and high schools, corruption, social apathy.
Well, another problem that's also still facing the problem in the country, most likely relating to the young generation, is the diseases. As we know, everywhere diseases might exist, but apparently we have two more which are initially affecting most of the young generation. That one is HIV, AIDS and malaria. Still for us as Tanzania, it's a challenging thing and it's a problem as well.
The sacrifice of children for wealth. People believe that through sacrifices they can enrich themselves. The other problem is HIV/AIDS amongst young people, which is partly brought about by poverty, because young girls and young men do not have jobs.
Human trafficking, that I could also join it with the issue of early marriages, so that we could simplify them in a whole. That still the group of people coming from abroad, different places, they try to bring some young people, most likely ladies and guys sometimes, so that they could take them abroad. But initially, at the end of the day, they end up some being prostituted due to the gurus and all the scenarios.
6 countries from 2 continents joined in one project to tackle problems they confront themselves with and go deeper into analyzing their causes and effects. The problems identified were gender discrimination and child labor in Tanzania, bullying in secondary school and manipulation and psychological oppression in placement centers in Romania, sexual harassment on campuses and peer pressure for inmates in Ghana, authority oppression and lack of basic human rights in Bulgaria, psychological violence in families and peer pressure in secondary school in Slovenia, stigmatization of HIV-infected people in Uganda. Acts for What You Believe project is the response of 6 organizations from around Europe and Africa to these problems. We believe that in order to fight them, we have to come together and understand them. We also believe that a lot of the solutions are in our hands, and we are responsible to act for what we believe is right. Therefore, we came together to learn one from another and to equip ourselves with methods and tools to act in our communities. Forum Theatre is a method developed by Augusto Boal and uses theatre as a means of empowerment and real-life problem-solving. Forum Theatre motivates to get active and make a change. In Forum Theatre, the audience is invited to participate and to propose real solutions to different social problems from their community. There are several characters in Forum Theatre: the oppressed, the one being aggressed, the weak one, the oppressor, the strong one who abuses his power, and, as in real life, allies of the oppressed, allies of the oppressor, and neutral characters. The interactive characteristic of this type of theatre is given by the power the audience has. With the help of the joker, the people in the audience can go up on stage, replace the characters in the play, and try to solve a situation of oppression inspired by real-life cases. It is envisioned that later on they will transfer and apply these solutions in their community.
I chose bullying because I think if children learn how to stand up for themselves in their childhood, it's a very good promise for their adulthood.
We chose bullying in school because we realized that this is a problem that happens in schools. We met many students that faced this problem, so we decided to show it and to show it in high school.
I chose the problem of sexual harassment in university campuses and also the issue of peer pressure, yes, for inmates of the prisons, the youth prisons in Ghana. I realized that for the peer pressure, most of the inmates, when they go out there and they don't have the affection from the family, they sort of drift back because they get pressured by other people. And then about the sexual harassment on campuses. It really happens in our society. A lot of girls fall victim to these lectures, and yeah.
We've chosen to make a forum theater piece about relating to chasing Roma minority out of a neighborhood in the capital of Bulgaria, and it's affecting their human rights and their civil rights, and we thought this might be a good topic to start with. Why we've chosen it?
Yeah, because this place that we choose was it's called Women's Market, and it's exists since a long time in Sofia. It's going to be demolished, and to those people they refused any information to explain to them what is going on to happen, and just they were told that they need to leave any time.
We chose to dramatize a problem of stigmatization amongst young people living with HIV/AIDS. And why we chose that is because it's a big problem. It's almost one of the biggest problems that young people have in my country, and we thought when we dramatize it, they can identify with that problem very easily. But not only that, they can be able to come up with solutions to address the problem.
We choose the topic that was about the psychological violence between mother and daughter. Why? Actually because we were like 6 of female participants. 5 participants and me, and we were trying to find a topic that that comes from each of us, that is really like personal topic. And after the discussion and finding the topic, it was this one. So each of us had that kind of experience.
We choose the gender discrimination problem in a forum theatre play because it was much more of the concerned topic and more likely of the situation that face most of the Tanzanians lady and basically in African continent. So we give it a more privilege and more concern, and we wish that the forum theatre play could be among the good methodologies towards their resolution.
The problem we chose is manipulation and physical violence for people in placement centers.
And we focused our play on their lack of responsibility for their future and the importance of a job.
We had some creative approaches in terms of what to say to the bully, how to turn the bully around and be nice with the bully. There were some solutions that proposed just to run away, to even to push the bully aside, and I'm hoping for some more non-violent creative approaches how to tackle bullying.
The solutions proposed by the public were to change the mother, to make her more interested in her daughter's problem, to be more interested in her school, and actually to go to school and discuss with the teachers to help her to improve her situation, her school situation. And also to change the oppressed, the girl that was bullied by another girl, to make her with more attitude and to make her to talk with her mother, to tell her her problems and to ask for help.
Create the equality that ladies or girls are likely have the same rights as boys, and they have the right to study, they have the right to work, they have the right to make decisions and stuff like that. So equality was the best and genuine decision that was conclusively reached by the audience.
Some solutions that were proposed by the public for peer pressure, for instance, they said if the parents or the family were ready to support them and show them love and compassion and all of that, give them attention, they would, go on a better path and they wouldn't go back into the prisons or into those situations. And for the sexual harassment, some of the solutions were that the girls should try not to fall into certain groups, have friends that are going to advise them in the wrong way. So to choose the right friends so that they don't let you go into trouble.
It was an open air performance. We had a lot of challenges for a first forum theater play, and the solutions we think we were also kind of directing it, I think, in this direction. But this is also the solutions that we before the forum theater we detected, but it came out of their mouth, which was very rewarding, and it was that they need to recognize the different parts of the community as one community, which was really hard to do because there are different religions, Muslims and Christians and Protestants, and they identified that also the same problem is affecting Roma and Bulgarians at the same, it's one problem, and they should work together and address authorities about their rights.
They should unite, and like this they will become stronger, and like this they can stand the oppression of the authorities.
Well, the public came up with quite a number of solutions, but what we got out as strongest was the idea that young people should be supported, especially at the family level, with an environment, a platform where they can easily share about their status in HIV/AIDS, such that from that discussion they can be able to be helped with access, finding out information on where, how and when to get the treatment that is required for them to live with the problem.
The solutions were like that the daughter should be more self-confident, that she should move on her own somewhere or go for some EVS to have better communication with her mother, to have like honest communication about her life and mother's life, so that kind of solutions were.
The kids that came up on stage and replaced the characters said that the teacher should be more involved in the situation and should try to find out more details about what's happening. They replaced the ally of the oppressor, making her less supportive and making her more close to the reality. They also said that the ally of the oppressed, who was a colleague, should show her support more and try to defend him more in front of the teacher and also in front of the oppressor. So everybody tried to make the oppressed more powerful, and also the oppressed was replaced being more courageous and trying to fight more for what he wants.
I think it's the kids themselves, the kids that are bullied, and it is actually those who I want to activate and empower. So these are in my first plan, but also to see the potential in the friends nearby who may just stand by and do nothing. I want them to be active as well and to see, actually we can do something as well, and to see that they have school counselors and teachers, but firstly the kids, I want them to be active.
I think that the teachers can be an important actor that can do something for the problem, because they have a word to say in the school. Also the parents, because they can help the kids in this type of situation, and also the students can be an important actor because they can take attitude and stop these situations.
The audience, basically, to the connectivity of the beneficiaries, both from the perspective of the female, that they could be the one to be motivated, motivate themselves, have confidence on their own, but in another side of life, also to the perspective of the boys, they have also to regain and recharge their mentality, their perspective regarding how they perceive the ladies, that we are people, same as they are.
Those who can do something about it are those who have friends in these situations. Yeah? They can do something about it. You can guide their friends into the right, path. And also for the peer pressure, for instance, those who have family members who are going through these issues, they can help in, guiding them the right way instead of pushing them away and telling them they're not worth it and all of those things.
Authorities, probably municipality, media. Like media is only the bridge, but most of it authorities and the directors of the market, which is part of the municipality. So it's a more or less getting a political issue.
Well, in the problem that we dramatized, we realized that the friends can do something, the friends to the victims, the family members, relatives can also do something about it. The people at the health centers where young people go to access HIV/AIDS can also be supportive. And also, most importantly, the families, because it begins from there. If you have a family that is supportive, a family that is welcoming, a family that understands your status, understands you, then you can be able to get along with the rest.
I believe that definitely the parents and their children, so like the main actors, and also like close narratives that can somehow help, or friends also, or friends that can support us in our decisions.
The kids from the placement centers, I think that the actors that are playing exactly, and the teachers that take care of the kids, and everyone who watches the play, everyone who's involved, everyone who's watching this video right now, I guess everyone.
6 countries from 2 continents, 2 forum theatre training courses, South Africa and Romania, 1 evaluation meeting, Tanzania, 10 problematic identifies, 13 forum theatre plays developed, 1 manual, Acts for What You Believe, Methods for Social Change, Image and Forum Theatre, 1 movie, 1 learning platform, a network of at least 18 forum theatre multipliers active in Africa and Europe, more than 700 direct beneficiaries of the local projects, which we empowered and motivated to make a change in their lives. We were collaborators of Act for What You Believe project for 1 year. We met and worked together, and then went in our communities to implement different solutions we came out with. We learned that we need to empower people to believe in their power to change things. We learned that forum theatre is one powerful method that we can use in our work. We learned that we have to act for what we believe in order to become change agents of our communities. We are now motivated to continue to act.